Generic greetings and welcome back to Satisfactory, where in the previous episode we automated the construction of computers, so that's been manufactured now up and around there. We also had a bit of an issue with power, as in we didn't have enough of it, and we still sort of don't if the factory chooses to go on full overload and whatnot, and we had to sort of underclock some of the machines. Actually, no, we didn't have to underclock them, we just removed some of the massive overclock at the time, the 200% overclock. However, we can produce some more power, and the way to do that is to get expanded power infrastructure unlocked, which well, we've just now done. There we go.
Milestone reached. The fuel generator will match power generation to the increased consumption of recently acquired technologies and buildings. Additionally, improved conveyor belts can now be constructed.
So, we can now make improved conveyor belts, which is tier, I would call it tier 4, and we can also now produce the fuel generator, which, as you might imagine, and probably not really that surprised about, uses fuel. So, let's have a quick check of both of those. Didn't mean to come up here. So, let's just sort the bag out, and then we'll have a look in there. So, fuel generator is of some size, actually. It looks pretty cool on the frame there. I'm just going to go up and around to the back here, and actually we'll also check logistics, and the conveyor belt Mark IV requires the encased industrial beams, or encased steel beams, or whatever they're called. Those we are producing, but majority of the resources, I believe, are going into the production of the modular frames, the heavy modular frames. But anyway, we're going to check then from here, from the fuel. Actually, what was the throughput on that one? That was 450 resources. Cool. We also have a smart splitter, which we've never made. Set a rule which part should go left and part should go right. Again, very clever, just we've never used them, and we don't really have any reason to use them for the time being. So, fuel generator. I'm just going to place, just to have a look at for a start off, let's place it there. It's fairly big, and there we are. So, is it just diesel generators? I think that's what it's supposed to be. It's just a big... It's just 1, 2... is that 3 or 4? 1, 2, 3... It's 3 diesel generators connected to... basically a big flywheel in the middle, I think. Right. We can actually climb up there as well. So what does this require? It doesn't say what the input is. Obviously it's fuel. We need fuel to go in here. I'll probably place one in a second. Let's actually place some fuel in there. Yeah, diesel generator. You can see it animating there. How much does it produce? 150 megawatts each. That's pretty good. Every 5 seconds though it requires that. So we need fuel. And the way to produce fuel would be to... Here's our quick wire factory that we really have no reason to use it for the time being. We need to change some refineries. In terms of refinery, fuel requires 60 oil a minute, whereas I believe the other stuff... Why is that heavier than anything else? It's only 30 a minute, which is why previously we were bringing down that other line. But that's going to require about 1,000 steel, and we really don't have the resources for that. And also, quite frankly, I think we're sort of on the edge of the series now. I think it's sort of run its course. To build that line would take quite some time, actually waiting basically for the resources. Let's just go over to here. Well, we've got another 55. Well, we've got that going for us, but we need about 1,000, I reckon. There's your encased beams, because for tier 3s, and then we've got no spare steel in there because we've underclocked these. How is our power actually? Let me check the power grid. Where's the nearest power pole? It's there. Can't see the wood for trees. And yeah, look at that, we're running very close. I was going to start overclocking a little bit, but as soon as I do that, it would just break. Good thing though, we are producing all these modular frames now, which is nice, and it's going into there. But yeah, you know what? I think we'll probably call it a day on the series. Like I said in the previous one, there's a power slug there. There's many places we could go. There's that big biome over there, different biome. Basically, wherever you look, it's different. All up there, around there, up that mountain. There's like a mushroomy one over there and that way. And there's loads of places we could go. But it would be going for the sake of going, and I really didn't want to fall off that. Let's just climb up the side of this one. Let's just take an overview of the factory from a great distance, because it will be nice to see and go through what we've done and achieved, really, which I think is quite a bit. So, let's actually stand on that. And if I had the jetpack, I wouldn't have bounced off it. So, from here, we get an overview of the factory. It's quite big. It's quite expansive, and there's a teleporting truck. Maybe the driver's in VR and just doing that sort of VR teleport instead of the walking forwards, because it makes you throw up all over the place. So yeah, there is our factory. Oh, when you look down there, it's... I remember when we first made that. Obviously, placed that one first. Placed our hub. Started producing some of the iron and all that. And that there was, that was a fairly big task at the time. And then you look around and you go, well, it wasn't that. It was just not at all, was it? It was almost no effort. So the first thing we placed, there was the 3 iron miners. Actually, we put automated ones down there as well as the automated one for over there as well. And the copper in that direction, which we can't see. It's behind... Oh, there it is there. There's our... that's actually our one and only... is that one and only copper thing? It might be. It might be. Those were the original miners to be placed, so producing iron, copper... Iron and copper ingots plus the concrete over there. Or rather, the limestone, producing the concrete from that. Obviously, then we went on to produce the iron plates and the iron... I call them rollers, but it's the iron rods, which we then made into lots of things, but mainly screws. Screws tends to be the overarching theme of the game. We wanted to automate the wire and cable production, which is what we've got on the left there, and that is producing the cables and the wire. We then went to the next tier. Obviously, we placed the massive space elevator. We placed that down, and we got the next tier along. We then needed to get coal, which we got from over there via truck, and we trucked it into there. And then obviously we started producing some more power. We did have some biofuel generators there, but we've got rid of those since. The only two are the ones that are sitting on the back of the hub there. And yeah, we started producing some power via coal. Obviously it means truck stops and things like that. And we then focused on the reinforced iron plate and, as I said, the screws, which then went on to produce the modular frames. We also wanted to get steel production, which is again what we did over here. So the bits at the back there, that's where we got where we have the steel, the iron coming in. The iron coming from those machines there, those miners. Those come down and then connect up to those, and you can just see in the distance there the dotted blue arrows. Those are that's the truck path, which is iffy. We had a tractor originally, and then we moved to a truck just to get more storage on it because it's bigger and stabler, although you wouldn't think of it. There's our truck stop, so that goes quite a ways. I think it's over a kilometre away. It goes in and around and up and down, and that's where we gather our coal. So we got coal coming from there from power, coal coming from there for the steel, and then we started to produce the steel ingots, which then we refine into further product. So we've got on the top there, we've got the pipe, and then we've also got the sort of iron girders, the iron rods, which then we go for reinforced, which is being produced by that machine there. That was pretty much that. Oh, we wanted to produce mortars as well, but that was getting onto the higher tier ones, so we need to produce stators, stators and rotors. Now the stators are produced, if we follow this line across, let me not have it so messed up there. It's good that you can alter the field of view. You can see them actually coming up. So they're coming up from that line, which goes all the way along and all the way to the back to there. Because apparently we decided that was the best way of doing it. We also produce the rotors up here, and obviously we need to bring some of those resources in, which is that's where a lot of the copper goes to. And that's where we produce rotors, which then becomes motors, which is like, that's pretty much where that line ends. You don't need to put motors into the next thing, because there isn't the next thing. Speaking of the next thing, we need to then to produce the heavy modular frames, which are the heavy modular frames? I always forget the name of those things. Yes, got it right. Heavy modular frames, which we then had to focus on that thing there, which is the manufacturing system, and that is the manufacturer's got 4 inputs, and well, we managed to get most of that there. Obviously, we had to then increase this line. You can see we've got some resources going back and forward there. But we've got that producing with all 4, and then we've got the same over there. Oh, we also did oil, obviously. That was a whole task in itself, going from the beach. Is it 2.5 kilometers away or something like that? It's quite a ways, and that comes with one line all the way to 8 refineries. 8 refineries split into 2 sets of 4. 4 producing plastic, 4 producing rubber, and yeah, that's what that is for. The other line, which I tried to finish last episode, which just didn't happen and won't happen, because we need like thousands of steel to bring the other line along there to then get refined again into fuel, and fuel we can put in the trucks, which will be quite decent, and also, and mainly though, to be fair, the fuel generators, which is going to be powering basically the factory. I don't think we could get rid of this. I don't see any reason to get rid of it, but that would certainly supplement until the next thing, which I'm guessing would be nuclear power at some point, and that would be tier 7, 8, 9, and 10. No renewables in the game at the moment, because obviously this is early access, but that has been our journey over the course of many episodes. I have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it immensely. I wouldn't play this much if I haven't. It's been a learning experience for a lot of it. Certainly when it gets to this sort of stuff, I've never built it before. The map itself I quite like. As I said, it's huge, you can explore, but there's 2 other maps that you can play on as well. I've only played on one of them, and it's like a sort of deserty one, but that's quite interesting. And yeah, that's where we're gonna leave the series. Hope you have enjoyed the bit of a tour through on this episode and the series as a whole. Very happy with what we accomplished, especially since the majority of it has been done off the cuff for the most part. So actually working out moment to moment what we need, rather than sitting down and coming out with a Excel spreadsheet, which is a possibility, just something I haven't and almost certainly will never do. That requires a lot more intelligence and caring. But there you go. Either way, I hope, like I say, I have enjoyed the series. And I'm certainly up for continuing it later on in the future once more stuff has been added. We might do some standalone episodes where we have a little exploring around and try different things, but I think leaving it on this point is probably the right thing to do. As always, I hope you have enjoyed everything. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.